What is up, FT squad? It's your boys Freeze Time back with another video, and today another sad video, some more sad news. I heard that Cameron Boyce passed away yesterday. Before I make this video, I'm sending all my love and my praise to his loved ones and his family. When you think about it, yeah, you think in your head, you're like, why does this always happen to, you know, good people? Like, first it was Etika, now it's Cameron Boyce, and you know, so in your head you're thinking, who is it going to be next? And you know, it's just, he was still so young, like he hasn't even lived his life yet. Now if we put it from a scale to from 1 to 100, he was only 20 years old, which means he only lived 20% of his life. He hasn't even lived half his life yet, so 80% of his life he hasn't still lived it yet. You know, he was still young, you know, he was gonna, you know, do all these stuff in the future. So, you know, like, I feel like you think, why does this always happen to good people? And you know, he had a condition which was epilepsy. That kind of condition, you know, you can't control most things, you know, but you know, he was literally most of our, you know, past. Like in the past, he was all of our childhood. Like I used to always watch him on Jesse, on The Descendants, you know. He was literally one of the best child actors I can ever, you know, imagine. You know, I wish I could have met him, you know, before he, you know, passed away. But you know, life is like this, and unfortunately we can't control life. You know, life just, you know, does decisions, good decisions and bad decisions to people, which you can't control. But you know, I felt sad when I heard this news, because he was literally my childhood. You know, I used to always watch him, you know. But you know, it's just so sad, you know. Then again, I send all my love and respect to his parents and his, you know, loved ones that hopefully watch this video and know that we care about, you know, all our, you know, the people that care about us, and we care about, you know, we definitely care about Cameron Boyce, and we definitely care about his parents and his, you know, loved ones. But stuff like this happens, guys. Like I said, he only lived 20% of his life, so that 80% that was remaining, he can't get back, unfortunately. You know, he still had 80% to live, and even maybe even more. But you know, when you put on a scale from 1 to 100, that's what comes up. Literally, it's a sad moment for everybody, because I'm sure a lot of you out there used to watch Jesse and The Descendants, you know, and you know, more, you know, movies and films that he's been in. It's just, you know, he was such a polite, you know, confident, you know, a well, you know, human being, you know. But you know, stuff like this even happen to good people, you know. That's what you think in your head. In your head, you think, you know, this happens to good people and bad people. If you're good, bad things can find you. If you're bad, bad things can find you. And you know, it just, you know, stuff like this happen, and we can't control it. I wish we can control it. You know, I wish we can say, you know, I don't want this, you know, I don't want this right now. I would still want to do this and do that. I still want to do this in the future. But, you know, he was such a polite, you know, he was such a good person. But, you know, even good, bad things like this happen to good people. And it's just, you know, hits you in your heart. You're like, why does this have to happen? Why? That's the question. Why? It's just, you know, it just makes you think for a second, like, you know, this can happen to anybody in the world, and you know, you can't control it at all. Like, you know, this is what happens, you know, we can't control it, unfortunately. Even though, you know, it's a really sad moment, you know, for everybody. You know, I'm sure I can feel the pain that his, you know, his family and his loved ones are going through. You know, I send all my prayers to them, because I know they've gone through a lot of pain right now. That's a lot of pain to go through, because, you know, losing a loved one, it's just like losing a piece of your, you know, soul. It's just like losing a piece of your heart. And, you know, when you lose a piece of your heart, that's never going to get, you can't repair that again. You can't bring it back. So, you know, I can definitely feel the pain that they're going through. Like I said in my previous other video, that, you know, I've lost a lot of, you know, loved ones in the past as well. You know, I'm sure you guys lost a lot of people in the past as well. You know, unfortunately, we can't control it. But, you know, it's just a sad moment for everybody. I really don't know what else to say, you know. He was just, you know, one of the best people I can think. You know, like when you put, you know, when you put it like that, you think a person like Cameron Boyce, no, that can't happen to him. You know, he's just a really nice person. Like, why does that happen to people like him? But you know, even bad stuff happens to good people. That's like I said, you know, bad stuff happens to good people. Even if you don't want it to happen, unfortunately it happens. We can't control it, you know. But no, he was literally, you know, one of the nice persons. You know, I wish I could have met him. You know, I remember like on the TVs and stuff when I used to always sit in front of my TV, and I used to always, you know, never get up. Like I used to always watch him. I remember always watching him, you know, when I was like 5, 6 years old. You know, now like when you're 5 and 6, you know, you just have a little giggle. You're like, oh, it's funny and stuff. But you know, when you grow up, you know, you appreciate it. You appreciate life. You appreciate everything that's around you, and you know, you always, you know, think that split second, like, you know, that's like, you know. But you know, it's just some sad news, some sad, you know. You know, I feel like, you know, putting this sad content on YouTube, you know, it just, you know, this is definitely not for, you know, any purpose. This is just for, you know, sending, I'm just, you know, all the respect and, you know, prayers for his family, because, you know, it's just a sad moment, because, you know, we've all lost good people. But yeah, I just remember him from, you know, like good times, you know. But, you know, there's a lot of people that are supporting him, you know. People are, you know, people loved him, people appreciate all the work. Like me, I appreciate everything that he's done. You know, I give him all the credit and all the respect for that. But all I wanted to say, lastly, all I wanted to say was, you know, rest in peace, Cameron Boyce. I wish he could have lived longer, but like I said, we can't control what we do, you know. But don't. All I want if his family watches this video, all I want to tell them is, we will never, you know, break bars, and we'll always be like this. We'll always be like this. Even in the hard times, we'll always be like this. We won't let go of each other. You know, Cameron was really important to us. You know, because it was most of our childhood. You know, I keep on repeating this, but you know, it makes you so sad. You think, you know, it just, he was still young. You know, he was 20 years old. Right now, I'm 16 years old, and he was 20, you know. So, you know, just like that, people can just go like that. People just can go with a heartbeat without doing anything. And it's just a really sad moment for everybody, you know. But, you know, it's just, you know, unfortunately, we can't stop that. And, you know, it's just so bad. It's just, you know, really bad, you know. But, you know, Cameron was a, you know, really, you know, he was really good. You know, he was, you know, he had a lot of courage in him as well. You know, like when he, you know, he did all of those, you know, things when he was younger. You know, all those when he was in Jesse and Descendants. You know, most, you know, kids, you know, right now, not all, but some kids, you know, are more, you know, shy when they're in front of the camera or they're in front of something. But with him, when he was in front, he had the courage, and he had the, you know, audacity to do what he wanted to do. He had the passion for, you know, doing videos and films, and, you know, and I respect that. I respect that a lot, Cameron. You know, I know, you know, you can't watch his video right now, but I'm sure he's watching all of us from up, you know, up there. You know, that's all I wanted to say, guys. You know, I know I've been speaking too much, you know, but you know, I'm sure, you know, it's just a sad moment, you know. It makes you think for, you know, a split second, like, you know, that can happen to anybody, even good people. But I have nothing else to say, you guys. You know, it's just a moment where you just think for a second. You're like, you know, Cameron, really Cameron, like, you know, I wanted to see him in, you know, other, you know, projects and other, you know, movies and stuff, but, you know, stuff like this just happens to bad people. You know, it just hits you in the heart. It just hits you in the heart for real. Like, you know, a nice, you know, person with a lot of, you know, he's got a lot of courage in him. He's got a lot of courage in him. Even though, like, you know, even though he knew he was going through all those conditions and all those problems, he wouldn't, you know, tell us, because he knows that, you know, we don't want, you know, you know, all those stuff. We don't want to think about those stuff while he's doing something. But, you know, he was behind the scenes. You can always, you know, he always had that, you know, good energy in him. I'm sure all of his, you know, all the people that he's known definitely would say the same thing right now. They would agree with me. But, you know, guys, that's all I wanted to say, guys. Then again, lastly, I just wanted to say rest in peace, Cameron Boyce. And again, I just send all my respects and my prayers to his parents and his loved ones. Guys, see you in the next video. Peace out.